British High Commissioner to Kenya, Neil Wigan, and the other dignitaries at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi. The royals are visiting on invitation by President William Ruto, and it is their first official visit to an African nation and the first to a Commonwealth member state since their coronation in May. On to our next news. The Communications Authority is today hosting the final conference and award ceremony as part of the October Cybersecurity Awareness Month. This event is part of the government's efforts to fix newly discovered vulnerabilities and counter emerging threats online. Eliud Owalo, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy, is presiding over the event. So our next news. The Kenya Certificate of Primary Education (KCPE) and the Kenya Primary School Education Assessment exams entered their second day on Tuesday, with the senior government officials monitoring the exercise. Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mushogu supervised the opening of the container holding KCPE examination materials at Kibra Sub-County. ICT and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo witnessed the opening and distribution of the national examination materials at the Deputy County Commissioner's office in Westlands, Nairobi. KCPE candidates will start sit for Science, Kiswahili Lugha, and Kiswahili Insha papers. On the other hand, the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE exams continue for the second week.
Unaona kwamba kila center ina maosa mawili, lakini kwa sababu ya mambo ya usalama tumeweza kuongeza maafisa ambayo wanachunga hizo environment, wakichunga mashule na pia raia, ili mtihani iweze kuendelea kwa njia ambayo inastahili.
And moving on to our next news, the Orange Democratic Party ODM Kakamega has registered a total of 170 adult learners who are writing the last Kenya Certificate of Primary Education KCPE exams this year. Speaking to media, the County Director of Adult Learning and Continuing Education, Isaiah Nyamweno, said the adult candidates include 63 females and 44 males. He said only Kakamega Central, Kakamega North, Matungu, Mumias West, Lugari, Butere, and Matete sub-counties out of 12 sub-counties registered adult learners sitting for their KCPE as private candidates. Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE, are 107, where 51 were males and 56 females. On to our next news. The Orange Democratic Party ODM has condemned what it terms as mistreatment and harassment of Kisii Governor Simba Arati. The opposition party, led by Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition, Principal Raila Odinga was reacting to a standoff that ensued on Monday morning at the Gusii Stadium in Kisii County between Arati and a contingent of General Service Unit officers who had surrounded the entrance of his office located at the stadium that houses his office. Arati claimed that the officers were being used to intimidate him, allegations which the GSU denied. The governor, who was however not blocked from accessing his office, linked the occurrence to registration of boda boda operators circle last weekend.
Kwamba mara pikipiki zao zinashikwa, zinapelekwa pale, mara wanachapwa na pia wanatozwa faini ambaye si halali. So leo asubuhi ndio tukaenda pale pamoja na DCI, maafisa wote wa serikali ambaye wa usalama, tumeweza kufunga hizo ofisi na tuka declare kwamba hapo inakuwa ni ile tunaita kwa kizungu scene of crime scene, sababu ya yale mambo yanaendelea kufanyika pale.
This is just sheer nonsense, misuse of GSU to intimidate, because there There is no reason completely. The whole week the JSU have been around. I'm told from reliable sources there were recce squads after we launched the circle for border in the municipality. And the reasoning, and I want to ask the president, the question is, he has been talking about border, Mamamboga. Therefore, we did launch the border circle here in the stadium, 6,000 of them from the municipality. And these people, that's how we want to shape up their life. But it's unfortunate that the police could have not had anything to do with actually raiding my office. It's only they are being misused just to intimidate us. They have cordoned off an office which is meant to be the office of the border. Young people who are operating, who are collecting their own revenues. They have called it a crime scene. The police in Kisi, the police in Nyanza, you are being misused. And I did ask the Kindiki, Professor, you are a learned person. You know what the law requires of you. If I've committed any crime, you know the procedure.
And finally, the National Assembly Departmental Committee on the Blue Economy and Irrigation has put the Central Rift Waterworks Development Authority and the KAINDI Phase 2 contractor on the spot over the stalled project. The committee, chaired by Marakwet East member Kagogo Bowen, has taken issue with the delay of the project, which has been running for 7 years with little to show for the 271 million shillings paid to the Italian contractor Cospin. The committee, which was on a day-long fact-finding mission on water and irrigation projects in Baringo on Monday, said that it was unfair for the government to continue servicing a loan which the taxpayers are not benefiting from the project.
Why we were to take you the other side was so that you see how they are mobilized. They are serious this time, and also the government of Italian government also their commitment, because we reached to the ambassador, and for them to have taken a day to give us an approval for the no objection for the funds is a serious commitment to the government, also the government of Italy, and also the contractor.
Since we are here and we are on a finding mission, and the 271 million has been paid, Chairman, and we are talking about 15% of completion of work. I have listened to the contractor that COVID was a big challenge, and sorry, CEO, don't talk on their behalf. That's why we have come here. Let me hope the contractors are going to be serious, because we are so much worried when Kenyans are suffering. The project have been initiated in this country to save Kenyans. We come here 2016, the project was stopped. 2016, 17, 18, 19. Between 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, there was no COVID in the country. The COVID came 2020, 2021, that way it was just wiping out globally. And the COVID was not a Kenyan challenge, it was just a global challenge. It's my humble prayer that I hope contractor will be serious, because when we talk about from the time they started and the time the project stopped, 2016, we are talking about 16%, 15% completion. Honestly, 15%. When Baringo people have suffered this long and with other Kenyans, surely someone must be serious. Someone must be serious now.
A project which it has stalled for over 7 years. We are looking at water as a very important factor because that is what many pastoralists are fighting for. As a national government, we are ready to support the county government in the last mile connectivity of water. Remember that in the last 2 months ago, the National Assembly passed Water Amendment Bill 2023 to operationalize the PPP, and now the PPP projects and water is among, and now the national government is going to support the county government to connect water to the last person in this county, so to say. His Excellency the President visited Italy. They ironed out those differences, and they have now agreed that the project must go on, and it is sponsored by Italian corporation 100%. The GOK funding we have is just for small resettlement of people here and there, and also for the way lifts of this project. The project is about 2.1 billion from Italian corporation, and the GOK is about 400 million.
The entire Baringo, Lake Baringo catchment, or the watershed, will be an area for irrigation that can create employment for over 100,000 people.
For tuning in for the 1 p.m. news. That is all we had prepared for you today. My name is EDNA KAINDI, and that is my sign name. Sign language interpreter doing the voicing is Wanjangede.